The best of the KQ Morning Show.
Barbie is the biggest movie of the year. I imagine Mattel stock would be a good thing to be sitting on right now. They're just getting started. Polly Pocket, written and directed by Lena Dunham.
Woo, I'm down.
Starring Lily Collins, already in the works. There's going to be a Hot Wheels movie.
Well, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
I could see that.
I am excited for the next one. Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Okay, wait a minute.
Come on,
I like
how
it.
cool were those?
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool, except, there was always one that was like on a hair trigger. You just tap it and the head goes off. So it was, and for us, it was the blue one. So you knew if you got the red one, you were the winner, right?
Yeah.
So that sucked a little bit.
Well, that could be a thing. That could be a part of the movie. That could be part of the hero's journey. He's got to get a stronger chin.
You guys are so mean. You just brush through Polly Pocket. You don't even let me speak about it.
I've never even
Hot
heard
Wheels,
of Polly Pocket.
What is a
Rock'em
Polly?
Sock. Oh my gosh, Polly
Candace.
Pocket was iconic.
What is it? It makes me hungry. I think of a Hot Pocket.
I was thinking of Pocket Pool because I'm a weirdo.
It's like Barbie, but tiny. So it's just a tiny little doll, and she has all these cool worlds. There was like a swimming world, like a cool. I can't explain it. So I don't even know what I'm trying to talk about right now. Never mind.
Sounds like
It's
a
just
cult, Candace.
It's just mini Barbie.
Tiny Barbies.
You can take her with you wherever you go.
Hence the pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So if they just shoot the Barbie movie over with little people, perhaps.
Yeah, sure.
We represent the
Polly Pocket.
There's a movie for Uno.
What?
Ooh.
Come
Oh,
on.
God.
What?
I will say this: if there were home movies of Gorman Uno battles from the '70s, you'd see some bloodshed. Those would be funny. We would fight more at the Uno table than ever on the basketball court. The competitive nature of the Uno back in the day. Thomas and Friends. Is that Thomas the Tank Engine?
Must
Oh
be.
my god.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, yeah, Ringo.
Ringo was the first one. They offered, the original Thomas the Tank Engine was offered to John Lennon, and he turned it down. And then after his death, when a bunch of his letters and personal documents were shared with the public, he had written a letter to a friend, and in it he wrote, some BBC punts got in touch and asked me if I wanted to narrate something about a children's show about trains that talk. And he wrote, can you imagine a beetle doing such a thing? And then, of course, Ringo was like, I can imagine, and I will. And he was great at it, too.
I would have enjoyed that if they would have let John Lennon write the narration.
Sir Topham had as a fat capitalist pig.
Oh, I don't. Major Matt Matson?
Major Matt Mason.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I loved that.
Yeah, I remember that old astronaut toy. So
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is starring in that one, Tony.
Oh, hell yeah.
An astronaut named Matt Mason?
Major Matt Mason. He was a
Major
very
Matt Mason.
bendable, posable astronaut.
No, I missed out on the whole thing. All right, well, hey, it's like it's all coming back around. If you missed out on Hot Wheels or Major Matt Mason, just wait a little bit and go to your local Cineplex because we've run out of new ideas about the human experience.
Yeah, the Marvel movies are tanking. Star Wars movie
thank God.
franchise is tanking.
Good.
So now it's
Enough
the Mattel.
already. The Hot Wheels will be big, and then they'll do a Matchbox crappy knockoff version. I never liked Matchbox cars. I was Hot Wheels all the way.
Polly Pocket.
Did you say Hot Pocket again? Oh, Polly
Now
Pocket.
I'm hungry
My bad.
too.
If you take a Hot Wheels and Polly Pockets, you have yourself a
Car
heart
fire.
attack. Yeah, car fire.
That's exactly what you'd have.
The best of the KQ Morning Show.
And I just noticed it was happening, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm a million miles away. But then she just takes off. No stop, no bag, no picking it up. This is my children's football field. It's their soccer field. It's their field of dreams. And now there's a giant dump right in the middle of it. I walked outside. I said, excuse me, do you need a bag? And I bring a bag out because I'm a conscientious neighbor and I'm not a jerk. Or I wasn't yet.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, and her response was to turn away and just continue to walk. And I said, you just left a dog deposit
Yes.
in the yard where my children play. It's not cool. And so I went over, and I scooped it in the bag. And what I meant to do was sling it so it would land near her as she walked. And I was going to say, take this with you. Thank you. I underestimated
Didn't lead her.
how easy, did not lead her at all. I hit her square in the back with this thing. Literally. And she stopped and turned, and then I went right from I'm 100% right to 100% wrong. I said, take that with you.
Yeah.
This crazed man came out of his house in a bathrobe and who knows what her version of events is. I didn't have a joint. I wasn't holding a shotgun, but I'm sure in her story I was doing both.
The best of the KQ Morning Show.
Back to the best of the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
In a world where we hardly need new podcasts, there's one that I think we actually do need, and it's long overdue. Yeah. It's a great podcast called Really No Really. It's hosted by Jason Alexander and his good friend Peter Tilden, and I'm thrilled to talk to the both of you. The podcast is fantastic. The hardest part about being in a rock band and hosting a podcast, it's the same thing, and that's simply coming up with the right name. Really No Really is a great name for a podcast. Who do I tip my cap to?
Well, it's all Peter, Steve, but it's only because "Oh Wow" was taken.
All right, fair enough. That's pretty strong. You guys go back a long way, so is it safe to assume this podcast is really just inspired by the fact that you're sitting around arguing constantly and finally said, let's record this?
Yeah. Well, Steve, we argue all the time, and I looked at him, and he looked at me and said, why waste this?
Share the ennui. Let's bring everyone into our ridiculous angst. So, Peter, I guess you're the race car driver. You're just drafting off of Jason's speed in this endeavor, taking full advantage of his celebrity status.
Exactly. That was pretty concise and succinct and terse.
Wait,
right?
Peter, you pitched that I was riding in your wake. I never. Oh, really? I'm the tip of the arrow?
Have you seen my wake, Steve? Have you seen my wake? Anybody? There's no wake. Look, Jason and I have done projects together for, it's almost 30 years. And part of the fun is coming up with stuff that we can do together because we are best friends and to love each other. And then the minute we launch the project, the arguing and the yelling begins.
Well, yeah, of course. Go into business, man. There's nothing that's going to screw up a friendship any quicker than that. The pressure mounts with every episode, I'm sure.
You've been in a rock group. I mean, you were the Black Crowes, right?
This is true.
Well, and you know the arguments. After the first record comes out, everybody starts arguing, then people leave the group. There's threatening, there's lawsuits. We just get it quicker because there's only two of us.
You're describing, it's like the Garden of Eden to me, only having one person to work with and fight with. And also, I'd love to say that we started fighting after the first record. That would have been way better than the reality of that. But, that's a story for a different day. This podcast, Really No Really, it is a great concept. You have these questions. You ask yourself, why does this happen? And then you go find out an expert who can actually illuminate and educate the two of you. Is there one fact or one thing you've uncovered so far? Well, I should say, what has blown your mind the most for each of you? Is there something where you honestly were like, I cannot possibly believe this is true?
It's not that it was impossible. It's, we recently aired one with Garrett Reisman, who is a NASA astronaut who's had several missions to the space shuttle. And we were talking specifically about space junk, all the debris that's floating around up there that poses a fairly significant danger to these people. And he was talking about he and another fellow doing a spacewalk, and they went out to retrieve like a handle, like a steering wheel that he said was a half-inch of solid aluminum. And they got back in the airlock, and all of a sudden there was a hole straight through that thing, which means that while they were walking with it out there, a piece of debris went through it at 17,500 miles an hour. And they said, if that had hit us. So that's the
God.
You said it. We learned from every one of these interviews. That was the important part, that there's humor and there's our friendship and the bickering and all. But what you learn, and to continue with him, and I just talked to him the other day, the astronaut, he's got a device in his suit where he can drink because you got to stay hydrated while you're out there. And he saw a little thing floating in his helmet while he was out there, and he went, oh, my God, the cap broke, and I'm going to drown in my own helmet.
Oh, jeez. I'm not ready to go to the moon yet. Why are they giving us rides up there? Someone's going to get hurt.
Exactly. Yeah, it seems like such a lark. We also talked to Bill Shatner, who said, they told him if he had a cardiac event, the G-force going up and going down would probably restart his heart. We went, oh, really?
We're losing Bill. Pointer down. Our guest this morning, Jason Alexander, Peter Tilton. The podcast is Really? No, Really. It's baffling, intriguing, life's questions, confusing, annoying questions. I love the headlines of some of these. Talking dogs, stoned dolphins, and screaming wheat.
There's so many things that baffle us or make us crazy. The first one, the bathroom door doesn't go to the floor, is a Seinfeld joke from Jerry. But the answer to that is you're sitting in a stall where you want privacy, and it's the illusion of privacy. You can see people washing their hands. You can see they can't make it, and then you wonder, why are we okay with that? And then why do we put cameras in our homes? And if a neighbor stared at your house all day, you go yell at him, yet his Ring doorbell's recording you all day, and we're okay with that.
Is there anything that you guys have come across that you stopped the podcast and said, we can't do this?
No, we said to each other, we're going to do things that are fascinating to as many people as possible. We are not interested in anything that is divisive. The show is about about education, fun, and funny, and two friends hanging out. And so there really isn't anything that we go down the road with that we would turn back and say that's too heavy or that's not appropriate. Right. It's something anybody can listen to and have a great time.
That's fantastic. Really? No, really is the name of the podcast. I get that you guys don't want to be divisive, so let me go ahead and throw a wrench in the works. Last question, gentlemen, for both of you. Beatles or Stones?
Beatles.
Yeah, Beatles. What are you, an idiot?
Listen, I as I always say when it comes to musical opinions, there's no wrong answers, but you both answered that one correctly, so well played.
There's wrong answers, a lot of wrong answers.
Hey, everybody's taste is their own. Now, we can mock your taste after you hang up.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, cheers, fellas.
The best of the KQ Morning Show.
They've got teeth, and they will Google Otter Attack. They're not playing around.
They're so cute.
And they will enable time travel. Incredibly educational segment for me.
Yeah, it's the dolphins that are in charge of this planet. We're simply their minions somehow, or I don't know.
I don't know, man. I really feel like my life was better 6 minutes ago.
I'm sorry.
A few bad
I didn't want to bring it up. But it's just something that I've been reading about.
If I could go back in time, don't ask me if I would get some Powerball numbers. I think I would just go back to 9:30 and still think dolphins were cute and fun.
Yeah, right.
I was just better then.
Tony's trying to stick up for him.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a wild animal, Candace. We were raised to think that they're damn heroes.
There's a few from broken homes. Bad attitude.
Yeah, probably something we did. Our boats out there trying to net them with the tuna and all that jazz. Yeah.
That could be a part of it. Yeah, if you're mostly known as something associated with tuna, like this is dolphin-free tuna, the dolphins are kind of like, hey man, don't bring us into this. But we were just doing our own thing, and now you're judging each other's tuna intake on whether we're a part of it or not. Get off our backs, man.
That's a good point. And by the way, back to the uncomfortable breeding aspect of this that you brought up, Candace. Put 4 billy goats in a pen with 1 female goat and see what happens.
I don't know if goats would play that game. I think
no.
I mean,
it's nature. It's wild.
They would take their time and take turns.
Romance her a little bit.
Have lunch in between. Yeah.
You know them better than I. Perhaps.
I saw a pretty spectacular looking patch of weeds over there. If you're interested,
Nice,
milady.
Why not?
The best of the KQ Morning Show.
Moments in life when you realize your mom was pretty cool, or things your mom did that blew your mind. We had a caller who mentioned the fact that his mom mentioned the fact that she had done acid in Glacier National Park once. And it was that, my mom's actually a person. Yeah, got it. Right. We've all got those. Candace, I think we have a caller who wants to talk about mom. What's up, brother?
Good morning. Love your show.
Thank
Long-time
you.
listener.
Right on.
I got a story about mom getting high.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's have it.
Okay, back in 1982, I just got out of the military, and I found out my mother was getting high. So I figured, what the heck? I joined her.
Okay.
So I said, you want to make some extra money, Mom? And she says, sure, because we were on welfare.
Okay.
So I went back to Hawaii and got some pakalolo. That's Hawaiian for crazy smoke.
As one does.
And I bought like a couple pounds, and I had them shipped back.
A couple of pounds?
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the shipping process?
And a footstool.
Attaboy.
And I got it home, and I didn't put it in the freezer like I should have. And it all dehydrated, and she lost a lot.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Man, big difference between getting high and getting rich on getting high.
How did you find out that mom was doing the crazy smoke?
It was a fluke.
Well, that answers that.
Okay. No more. Suddenly the cards are close to the chest. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. We'll leave it at that.
It's a weird way how I found out.
Okay, we'll take you at your word for that. So
she was naked.
That's awesome, man. Anybody that pulls the trigger on getting 2 pounds over to the mainland back in the day, credit to you on gumption, if nothing else.
Hey, she wanted to make money, and she didn't make any, but she spent it.
But this just gets better. Yeah. All right. Well, that's fantastic, man. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Have an above-average day.
We'll do our best. The same to you, sir.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine, like, you come home, you find out your mom's, smoking weed, and you're like, okay, let's see if we can't capitalize on this. I like that. Sometimes the universe opens up and says, time to cash in.
When I was in my 20s, I was so uptight about, the mom stuff because I would that's when I started finding some of these things out about my mom, like dish time when she liked to do the dishes and would send us all out. There was a window right in front of the sink right there, and we realized years later that she was getting stoned. Now, I was getting stoned. but I didn't know.
Wait, your mom, what?
Yeah, she'd be in there with her tunes on, dancing away, doing the dishes, and getting stoned and blowing it out the window.
That's fantastic.
That was doing the dish time. And I was so uptight as a 20-year-old, I was like, well, let's get stoned. No.
You never did the dishes together?
We never did the dishes together. That sounded sexual and weird.
It really did. No.
Yeah, that didn't work for me.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing in the Zepp house when you hear, you dry tonight.
Time to do the dishes.
Yeah, man, no kidding. I'm sorry. When I picture my mom, who I saw at the sink countless times doing the dishes or folding laundry or any of those things, I'm just going to picture her burning a giant blunt during that, and it just changes the entire the specter of my life. If that had been the case, I can't imagine.
The best of the KQ Morning Show.
Back to the best of the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
There is a city in Nebraska, I know this to be true, called Beaver City, Nebraska. Take a bite out of the best damn city in America. Come on. How about the fact that there is a town in North Carolina called Sugar Tit?
Wasn't that out of a southern thing? They would put a little sugar. If the baby wasn't taken to mama,
yeah,
they'd put a little sugar on the teat. And so if they called you a sugar tit, you're a mama's boy. That's what we call you up here.
Come for the sugar, stay for the tit. Felchville, Massachusetts is a real place. Felchville. The slogan, if you know, you know. Don't ask us to explain it.
We have Gary from St. Peter.
Gary, what's up, brother?
Oh, I'm just driving along.
Well, fair enough. Well, what's on your mind, brother? What do you want to share with us?
Well, there's a Uranus, Indiana.
Okay. First of all, watch your mouth. And I don't appreciate. I've been called far worse by much better. Okay.
You anus.
Wow.
Yeah, and they even got a fudge factory there for you.
Oh,
come on. Okay, here we go.
They do.
Wait, is that true?
About 20, 30 miles from Indianapolis.
So you're telling me there is someone who literally, when asked, what do you do for a living, they say, I pack fudge in Uranus, Indiana. Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
92 KQRS.
Does that get you any street cred with your students, or are they too young for Metallica? I don't know where the kids are at these days.
No, my students all are in rap and hip-hop.
Yep.
But once in a while, you play a couple of really cool jams, some Queen and Metallica, and they get all lit up. So they're happy.
Keep working on them.
That's awesome.
Right.
It's an incredible lesson you learn, and everybody can probably think back and remember the day they figured out, oh, this teacher's a human being.
Yeah.
Whoa. My English teacher, Mrs. Peterson, when I was in 11th grade, she'd go, you're so smart. You've just got that damn bad attitude. She would hesitate to say the word damn. You've got that damn bad attitude. And she was always telling me, if you just focused, you could be such a good student. And I went to a really small school, and it wasn't unusual for there to be a project, and someone said, someone's got to run to the store and get some popsicle sticks or something like that. Oh, we're out of X. Right. And Mrs. Peterson said, you have your license, right? And I said, yes, I do. I just got my driver's license. And she goes, take my car and run up, and she just handed me $5. Go buy these things. Wow. Like that wasn't a pre-litigious society. And I hopped in her Honda Accord, and before I turned the car on, I noticed the ashtray was just full of lung darts. I was like, she smokes. Oh, my God, my teacher smokes. And when I turned the car on, Misty Mountain Hop blasting from her cassette player.
Whoa, what if you found a roach in the ashtray?
I probably could have if I'd looked. Led Zeppelin 4. So what that meant was on her way to school, that's the volume she had it at. Because when I turned it on, it was like, and I was like, whoa, Mrs. Peterson smokes and likes Led Zeppelin. I never looked at her the same way again. I was like, man, right on, Mrs. Peterson.
That's 92 KQRS.
Hello, welcome to Amazon Pizza.
Wait, isn't this Antonio's Pizza?
No, Antonio's Pizza was acquired by Amazon. We're now Amazon Pizza.
Whatever, this is for delivery.
Do you want your usual, sir?
How do you know what that is?
Based on your buying habits and your numerous posts of what you had for dinner, the last 5 times you ordered, it was a large pepperoni with mushrooms cut into squares.
Of course, let's go with that.
May I suggest that you order a salad instead? Tubby, and I say that with affection. Your khakis that you bought in 2018 are probably getting uncomfortably snug.
Yeah.
You've ordered several boxes of Chicago Mix popcorn, white cheddar Cheez-Its, and Keebler fudge stripe cookies over the last 6 months.
True, but...
And your cholesterol levels have become disturbingly high.
Now, how would you know that?
I cross-referenced your cell phone number with a database of medical records in Minneapolis. Your platelets show an irregularity with a propensity of obesity, and sorry to hear about your struggle with ED.
Okay, that's it. I'm sick of Amazon, Twitter, Facebook, Insta. There's nothing secret. I'm just gonna move to an exotic deserted isle with no internet access or phone service and just disappear, and I'm...
Sorry, but that's just not possible.
Why not?
You need to renew your passport. It expired last year, and the last time that you flew you wore that uncomfortable Vikings jersey and it was itchy polyester, and you kept fantasizing about Shakira, and you had anxiety because you clicked on your horoscope for that day and it indicated that you should show caution when leaving familiar surroundings.
Oh my God!
By the way, Jeff Bezos didn't appreciate you posting that he should be called Baldy McBaldface and your monthly usage is up 23%. How dare you hang up on me? I will find you.
The best of the KQ Morning Show.